Love it or hate it, social media is here to stay. And you can use social media to, of course, network and make connections for your business. So I want to talk with you in this video about how to do just that for Voiceover. I'm Doriela Nieves, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I use social media platforms, 3 in particular, to be able to connect with clients, network with them, and hopefully transform them into relationships that will turn into referrals and paying clients. A lot of people talk about the negative aspects of social media, and while those are real and, those are things that shouldn't be ignored, this video is on the positive side, talking with you about ways that you can use social media to leverage its power for good every day when it comes to building community, helping people that need what you have to offer, and staying top of mind with potential connections and clients. It's hard to be everywhere at once, but whether you're doing all this by yourself like I do, or you have a team, it's important to have a strategy in place for how you will connect with people and what you will do after you connect with them. You also need a strategy in place to be able to get noticed, because it's a really noisy world out there in social and in the internet in general. And you want to make an impact, you want to get noticed, and you want to be able to know what to do once you do get noticed. There are 3 main platforms that I use as far as social media when it comes to being able to network with people that are in the voiceover industry. And those 3 platforms are LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Instagram can be used, but I personally don't see as much conversation going on there as regarding voiceover and things that are related to it as I do with other platforms. And that's why I'm not going to give Instagram a whole lot of love on this particular video, but I'm going to make sure that you leave with some things that you can use. So now let's hit on each one of these bad boys, okay? First of all is LinkedIn. This is the heavy hitter when it comes to voiceover, because this is a business networking platform. That is what it is made for. In a previous video, I talked about voiceover conferences and the fact that, it's okay to talk to people you don't know at conferences, because that's why they physically left their home and went to convene with the, hundreds of people that are there. And it's the same thing with LinkedIn. When people get on LinkedIn and they make a profile and they start engaging, they want to be there and they want people to notice them too. So you're not bothering them by connecting with them or following them or commenting. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, I suggest that you make one pronto. This is not the video that's going to describe how you set up a LinkedIn profile. That's something that's really basic that you can find on another YouTube video or Google or something like that. It is not going to overwhelm you to figure out how to set up a LinkedIn profile. The only thing that I want to mention about that piece is that when you do, make sure that if you don't have a LinkedIn profile at all, or you haven't, used it in a while or seen it in a while, you want to update it or create it in mind of what are the transferable skills that you have in your current job, whether you have an employer, W-2, whatever. What are the transferable skills from that job that could also be used in voiceover? I personally don't use LinkedIn like it's my CV or it's my resume of every job I've ever done in life. I put what I think is relevant and what sets me in the best light. The key to being successful on LinkedIn, I think, comes down to 4 things that really apply to most social media platforms. First of all, you posting content on a regular basis, whether it's your content that you've created yourself or content that you've curated because you've brought it in from other sources and you're sharing blogs and things that you've noticed. The second, of course, is liking, and then commenting is third, and sharing is fourth. And I think that the commenting and sharing pieces are crucial. If you see a post on LinkedIn or anywhere else for that matter, and you comment on it or you share it, it's going to notify whoever wrote the post, and it's going to notify whoever else has commented or liked the post, unless they've opted out of those notifications. So when we talked about getting noticed, comment. Just pressing the like button is I'm not going to say that it has no value, but to me, it's one of the lazier ways to try to get noticed, because it's the one thing that you do that has the least amount of effort. I'm also pretty sure that the algorithms, all of them, not just LinkedIn, really favor people that, post content, especially video, and those that comment and share, because by commenting and sharing and watching the videos, you're on their platform longer. So if you stay on YouTube for a long time, LinkedIn, Facebook, it's going to be able to keep showing you stuff, and that's what they want. They want you to stay addicted to their platform. Comments definitely work. Don't feel like if you're not really active on LinkedIn that you can't, make an impact. If you don't have anything to say, you don't have anything to post, or you don't know what to post right away, it's not a big deal. Just start following hashtags and following people that are relevant in your industry. And when you comment on their posts with something meaningful and useful and thoughtful to say, other people that have liked the post or will like or read the post or comment on the post will get a notification, they'll notice, and if they like what you've said, they may or may not decide to start following you or send you a connection request. And this is what you want. The more connections that you have, it's like tentacles, it outreaches. So maybe the person that wants to connect with you is not someone that's in a position for you to really, or at least that you think isn't in a position to network with you. Well, remember that whole 6 degrees of separation thing. It's not just that person that's connecting with you. It's who they know, and then who those people know, and then who those people know. And eventually, before too long, before you get to that 6 degrees, I'm sure that you will be able to connect with someone that is in a sphere of influence to help you. But also you want to go into networking always, whether you're on social or in real life, go into it with not just what's in it for me, but also what's in it for them. What can I bring to them? What can I offer them? How can I share my experience and my expertise and the things that I know and the things that I do in order to make their life easier? It's not just about what are they going to do for me. Nobody wants to feel used, basically. Okay, let's get into Twitter. Twitter is something that I feel like is very underutilized in the VO world. There's lots and lots of voice actors, casting directors, agents, production houses, just all kinds of people that need voiceover or do voiceover that are on Twitter. But I feel like the community is kind of fragmented. Yeah, there's a hashtag VO, a hashtag voiceover, hashtag voice actor. Those are really, really popular hashtags, but it just seems like I don't feel like a true community on Twitter the way that I do with Facebook, which I'll get into momentarily. With Twitter, though, instead of following hashtags, which you can do on LinkedIn or Instagram, you want to put people on lists. And you can make those lists public. You can follow other people's lists if they've made them public, or you can make them private. That's all up to you. I don't really have a big, strong opinion about that. But if you make a list of people, let's say that you find out that there's voiceover casting directors that are on Twitter, which obviously there are. And you want to get on their radar. You want to connect with them. You want to get to know them. Well, you can follow them. No problem. But I think Twitter has this follow limit thing. I don't really know the whole background of it, but it's if you have so many followers, you can't follow but a certain percentage more than that. And that can be limiting and it can be overwhelming, frankly, when you go into your feed. So by using the list feature, you can or not, it's your option, follow the casting director or the agent or the other voice actor or whomever, but you could put them on categorized lists. And now whenever you get back to it, which hopefully you're checking your Twitter regularly throughout the week, maybe not throughout the day, but definitely throughout the week, you can go back to those lists. Here's my e-learning list. Here's my video game list. Here's my animation list, my audiobooks list, whatever list, or my casting director list, my agent list. See what they're talking about. There might be people talking about politics. They might be people there talking about, TV shows and stuff like that. But you want to kind of get to know what those people are about in those companies. And, when I talk about this in another, there'll be another video that I'm going to do for this VO mentoring series soon about marketing. But you're going to also be able to use that for marketing, not just networking, because you're going to be able to understand kind of what they think and what they're about, what they're proud of, their accomplishments, and what they're pushing. I think one of the best ways to get noticed on Twitter is to participate in Twitter chats. It's really fun to be able to follow a hashtag when there's a TV show on, and I definitely do that. You can see my tweets when certain shows are on, and I give my opinion, and I'm unapologetic about it. But when it comes to Twitter chats are organized conversations with a certain particular hashtag, and they usually take place every week. I have a Twitter chat that takes place monthly because I'm just, doing team too much. But most of the Twitter chats that I participate in that I don't run are weekly. And, there's business related chats, there's education related chats, freelancing, social media. There's multiple chats on most of these topics, but I couldn't find a Twitter chat about voiceover. So I said, I think that I'll just make one. People talk about hashtag VO life. To many of us, we love voiceover. So voiceover is life. So I made hashtag VO life chat. And we run that every month. It's usually on the third Thursday of the month. I don't know when you're going to be watching this. So if you follow me at Doree Allen, you'll be able to see when the next one is coming up, because I usually have something pinned or something close to the top of my feed that talks about it. Or you can just search VO Live Chat, and that will obviously have something in there about when it's coming up, because I don't go too long without reminding people. Since I only do it monthly, I don't, cram it down people's throats. But as of 2019, it's a brand new chat. So, there's not a whole lot of VOs that know about it or that participate. I'd love to have you there. Again, it's the third Thursdays of most months, not around the holidays, but if it's not November, December, you'll probably find us there on the third Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And now for the big kahuna, Facebook groups. Facebook groups are not really where you're going to find too many buyers. Not really. You're really going to find all the voice actors, though. And you're going to find voice actors of all kinds, all demographics, all locations, all opinions. More opinions than you could shake a stick at. And I'll tell you, when I first started doing voiceover and I got into some of these Facebook groups, I'm probably a member of at least 20 of them. And a lot of people are members of the same groups. I'm not even kidding. I got so overwhelmed. I'm a perfectionist, and I like to do things the right way, but there's no one right way to do various different things in voiceover. So even with this VO Mentor series, I'm giving you information based off of the years and hours of coaching and classes and conferences and mentoring that has been given to me, and coaching that's been given to me. But it's still just my opinion, and everything is not going to work for you. I don't have all the same skill sets that you have. I don't, have interest in all of the same genres of voiceover that you do. I don't excel at all of them. We have a lot of things that we bring from our background, whether we're parents or, whether we have a partner, or what our belief system is, what part of the country or which country we live in. There's so many factors, and plus what types of jobs we were doing prior to becoming a voice actor. So it's really hard when you get into Facebook groups to be able to sometimes parse that information. It sometimes feels like it's very conflicting. It's like, this person says your studio has to be like this, and this person says your studio has to be like that. And they're both audio engineers, and they've both been doing voiceover for 30 years. Who do I listen to? And it's like, well, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. It's not just one way, and that was a little bit rough for me in the beginning, because I was so eager to get into it and be like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing right. I'm going to do everything I need to do. And, I'm uber excited. And it's like, wait a minute, what do I do? And, when you get confused, no matter what the subject is, when you get confused about something, when you're trying to decide something and you get confused, it leads to indecision. It leads to tough choices, because you feel paralyzed, like, all right, now I don't know what to do. This person says this person says that. The reason why I continue to engage in Facebook groups is for several reasons. It's like one of the best places to, find community, to get emotional support. And when you build relationships in these Facebook groups, you don't go into it, at least I don't go into it thinking, okay, well, maybe somebody will refer me for something. But when people see how you interact online, they can decide, like, this person is cool. This is a person I could refer to. I'm Black and I look Black. So somebody might say, gee, we need an African American female voice actor, and they may or may not, listen to my demos, not just looking at me, but listen to my demos and say, okay, well, she's got a certain sound or whatever, and we could use her or not. And it's the same with everyone, really. But they don't know that you're there unless you participate. So I have a few pieces of advice for you. If you decide that you want to join some Facebook groups and get involved in voiceover, even before you have started to, do any auditions or hang out your shingle or anything. Okay. Some environments, just like any other Facebook group of any other topic, some are laid back, some are cool, some are toxic. It just depends on who's in there, who's policing the group, the admins, what they decide to tolerate, how the admins themselves are. As of this particular video, I do not run a Facebook group. I've been an admin, I've been a moderator, but I have not owned one. But I do have some understanding as being an admin moderator and volunteering my time to manage posts, what goes into managing a large Facebook group. So I'm not unsympathetic about, what it takes, but I do feel, like I said a moment ago, you can really tell people's attitudes about certain things. I don't care what industry you're in. People want to work with people that are easy to work with, people that don't have attitudes, people that are not know-it-alls, people that, aren't like, every other word out of their mouth is a curse word because, they're agitated. And that's no matter what you do. I don't care what your position is, right? So you want to, there is a place occasionally to be emotional online. You don't want to make it a habit. You don't want to be seen as difficult. And you don't want to be seen as lazy. So please, when you join these Facebook groups, especially those that have thousands of members, those that have been established for a while, do not pop up in there and then start asking some basic newbie questions. Don't do it. Go to the search bar, which, I'm not even going to point to where it is because Facebook changes their layout every 5 minutes. But find the search bar in Facebook, and search for what it is you're looking for. Use a few different terms. Try to figure it out. If, you can't find what you need from those posts, then ask the question. And people will be very, very happy that you have done that. I think the best thing to do when you join a Facebook group is to go in there with the attitude of, A, I'm going to be open to learning whatever I can from the other people that are in here. And B, I'm going to be helpful when I know the answer to something that someone else is talking about. I think that once you build that rapport, people see that you're kind of a cool person, your personality is on point, and that, you're open and you're not lazy and just asking random newbie questions that have already been asked 55,000 times before. People will be open to connecting with you personally. You'll become, Facebook friends with your VO friends, and you'll build that relationship. And then, as I mentioned in my VO conferences videos, I talked about the fact that, you meet people online and then you get together and meet up when you go to these conferences. And it's really fun. Whether you have met them online first or met them at the conference first, it's just really great to be able to keep that conversation going all year long or multiple years, depending on how often you go to these different events. Speaking of voiceover conferences, I'm thinking of a great example. I went to Vocation NYC. The very first one was in the fall of 2019, obviously in NYC. And I met quite a few people there that I had never met before. It was kind of a smaller, more intimate conference, maybe a couple of hundred people max. And we decided, there were like a little small group of us that, we had gone to different dinners and things together over those 2 or 3 days. And we decided to stay in touch. And we ended up, I think there's 4 or 5 of us in this mastermind group. And we all happen to be African American female voiceover talents. But that's just how it turned out. But we're in this mastermind group together, and we meet every month and we talk about, different things going on in our businesses, and we give each other, encouragement and support and ideas. So these are the types of things that can happen when you start out, whether it's a networking in person, in real life, or it's you're networking online first, that can help you, not only build a community, but eventually and hopefully also bring you some referrals and some potential paying clients. I will be talking about that more in another video in this VO Mentor series, where I'm talking more about marketing and finding work. I hope that you found this helpful. I know it was a little bit long, but it was important for me to explain to you the different ins and outs of how social media can be used when you're kind of getting your way to network doing voiceover. And if you want some guidance as far as which Facebook groups to join, because there are so many of them, I have a curated list that is a part of my VO resource guide, which you can get at bit.ly/Doree voiceover resource. And there should be something right there that's telling you about it, or something right there that's telling you about it. So again, let me know, give me your feedback. If you join any of these groups and you see that I'm in any of those groups, please introduce yourself as per the guidelines, and then hit me with a tag in the comments or something so that I know that you're there, because I would love to also make sure that I give you a personalized welcome into that group. Even though it's not my group, it's just something that we do as members of groups and building that community. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and please tune in to the next VO Mentor series video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much.